It's Georgia night. Oh, I know. We're all like on the edge of our little chicken seats.
Can't wait to find out about tomorrow.
I know, I can't either. I'm very excited. Well, hopefully it'll be double digits very soon.
Just thank the Georgians in advance.
Yeah. Yeah, exciting. It's exciting. I'm excited tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
How's it going otherwise?
Good. I've been obsessing over Persimmon, so it's all good. Getting ready for Christmas, the Christmas haul. Oh my God. But I'm excited.
What you set out to do for Christmas, I know I always talk about this, but I don't think most people understand. The rest of us just make gifts, buy gifts, do stuff that's, pretty low key.
I entertain the masses.
Turns into a cookie factory and cooks Christmas dinner. And it's not just some regular old Christmas dinner either.
No, it's all coming. I'm trying to decide, Seven Fishes is like such a big party and everybody loves it so much. And it's grown from like 10 or 15 people to, well over 30, which is hard to cram into my house because it's not that big. So I'm trying to decide with, COVID getting more spready at the moment and the flu and all that, how I'm going to manage that if I decide to do it this year. Everybody's sort of on hold till like the last week before Christmas, and then I'll decide how I'll go forward with that. But I'm still having company, and even if I don't do the big party, I still do Seven Fishes. So it'll be for a smaller group, but it'll still happen.
Explain to people what that is who don't know.
It's an Italian-American tradition, and the number of fishes is based on a number in the Bible. I am not religious. I just like the food part. And usually people do 7, but when I was growing up, we did as many as 13. And sometimes when it was just our family, we did like 3. But I always end with spaghetti and clams because that's how I grew up. And everything else is up for grabs.
And just so you know, the spaghetti and clams is in the cookbook.
Yes, which we just heard from our publisher. Yeah.
Today we got the best email and we saw some proofs from a redesign and it looked so good. So
oh God.
Pray for us.
No, don't bring a gas mask.
Bring your own gas mask. That's how it goes. Merry Christmas.
Oh, who's doing that? Who else does Seven Fishes? I can't see you. It just says Facebook user. Yeah, I've been doing it since we were kids and carried it on in my own life. So I'm excited. One way or the other, it'll happen. We did our, I don't know if you saw the picture of our Christmas tree in the front yard. David and I always do a recycled tree somehow. And this year we did tomato stakes. We took those green curly tomato stakes and we made them into a cone shape and made that into our Christmas tree in the front yard.
It looks really good. I think it looks totally pro.
Oh, hi, Donald. Nice to see you.
Thanks for watching.
Yay.
Yes, we are. I meant to say a second ago, we got these proofs today from the publisher in New York, and it just looks so good. We're on track still for April 11th, so keep a good Christmas thought, okay, on that.
Yes, and it looks so good. We're very excited.
It looks really good.
Yeah. So,
Persimmons.
I'm excited about persimmons. I love persimmons. Okay, I just like to eat them. I don't care, just peel them and eat them. But the first time I had them, my friend Noni peeled one and wrapped prosciutto around it, and it would like changed my life.
They are incredible. I did a lot of reading up on them this afternoon, just so we would have some fun facts, and they are quite vitamin filled. They have
Mhm.
anti-inflammatory
Oh, shoot.
properties. They're just like so good for you, and they're good for diabetics. They're like one of those superfoods, like an avocado. They are
They're
literally a
super
superfood.
sweet. They're so good. So there's two kinds of persimmons. There's this one, which is the fuyu kind, and so it's like the squatty one.
Well, take a step back. There are actually a lot of different kinds, but we only
Yeah,
get two
we
in
only
America.
see two. Yeah,
We only get two in America.
America sees two.
Yeah.
And then we have the kind of what's it called, hachia. I'm not sure how to say it, but it's a more long
Right.
version.
Right.
And that one has to be like soft ripe when you eat it. Otherwise, it's astringent. But this one, the fuyu kind, can still be firm. And
the fuyu, I think,
so
is more available. Like you got yours at Trader Joe's, right?
Yep. And they, a bag of organic ones. They're great there.
And they're in season right now through December. So it's great to get a seasonal fruit, that doesn't have to be carted all over the world to get to you, carbon footprint wise. But they're so amazing. I grew up with them, which is so weird.
I know you that.
Adds to my psycho childhood of weird things. But my grandmother had like 4 or 5 trees. She didn't really even know what they were. She's from Croatia. What does she know about this stuff? So she just she was a master gardener and tended to her trees really well, and then just made up stuff like her persimmon cookies and different kinds of breads and different. And we ate them raw all the time, and they were just scrumptious.
So good. So they're in season now, and there's so much you can do with them. But I came up with a muffin. And that's what we're going to have tonight, a muffin.
This is one of Debriana's original creations, and it sounds so delish. I want to try to make this for the fam for Christmas, for special.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, special brunch stuff.
These are so good. I was reading today, I think it was a Martha Stewart thing. I don't know. But you can take these when they're like getting soft and ripe, like too kind of mushy, and you don't want to eat them all right away. Put them in the freezer, and after about 8 hours, they're frozen, and you can cut them in half and spoon out the middle like custard.
It's like a pudding. It's so crazy, and I'm trying to describe the flavor for no one who's ever had one. It's like this cross between kind of like a cinnamony cantaloupe-y kind of.
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of cantaloupe-y.
Yeah, and it really goes with cinnamon, nutmeg, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You do squash or those kind of things. So good. Oh my God.
So yes, it's definitely a must try. And so you can eat them just raw, like an apple, but you peel them, or you can do stuff to them. Like you can even just cut this in half and broil it.
Yeah.
And serve it with a mascarpone and a little bit of honey. Just
like
delicious.
roasted.
Yeah.
And it'll have the sugar caramelized naturally. You don't have to add anything. So good.
Yeah, super delish. So we're gonna make these muffins, and they're streusel with a mascarpone center. So
okay, that doesn't sound like it sucks.
It might not be too terrible.
You also were saying you contemplated also making a persimmon compote today, which is another thing that you could do with them.
Yeah, I thought about that too. But David's out of pie, so he needs a dessert.
He needs it. He needs these super muffins. Okay.
Oh my God. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the dry ingredients together. And it's a cup and a half of all-purpose flour. Not a gluten-free recipe, kids. Sorry.
How many muffins does this make?
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah, it should be about 12, but it might make more. I'm not really sure.
Okay. depending on how big you want them to be.
Yeah, I just don't know because I'm adding that center.
Okay, right. That's going to displace some of the batter. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I'm adding 2/3 of a cup of whole wheat flour. Lisa will like that part.
Love it. Oh, and Kelly saying, pretty sure they serve it with the Who beast, or you mean the Who roast beast and the Who pudding. Yes.
Yes.
From Whoville. This is a total Whoville.
That's right. They do look like they're from Whoville. So then I'm doing all the dry ingredients in one bowl, and then I'll do the wet ingredients in another, and then I'll mix them together. You don't really want to mix muffins too much. You don't want to develop any gluten. So that's 3/4 of a cup of regular sugar.
This whole over mixing thing, I used to think it was just like, yeah. But you know what?
Don't do it, people.
Don't do it, or you will not get what you want.
And now I'm doing a 1/4 cup of brown sugar.
Well, that's not very much.
No, well, there's 3/4 of a cup of regular sugar in there.
Because the persimmons are really sweet too.
Yeah. So I didn't want to make them too sweet.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to add all the leavening material. So let's see. Grab this. So I'm going to do 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda.
Okay.
1.5. And I didn't know this until recently, but the baking soda addition just makes sure that the baking powder is actually working. In case it isn't.
I've always wondered, why do both? What's the difference?
Apparently, it helps make sure that the baking powder is behaving properly. That's what I read somewhere. I don't know if anybody else knows. Do tell.
It's activated?
Yeah. I guess in case the baking powder's dead. I don't know.
In case you've had the baking powder on a shelf, instead you've heard of Elf on a shelf. Don't leave your baking soda too long on the shelf.
There you go. And now I'm adding 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and this is my vanilla salt. I like using that when I'm baking.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm going to add the spices. So I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I got this really nice Vietnamese cinnamon from Whole Foods.
I have Vietnamese cinnamon.
Not my favorite store lately, but hey.
I think it's where it's coming from right now.
Vietnam?
Vietnam, yeah.
Huh, okay. I'll go with you on that. Now I'm going to add some cloves. And I like grinding them up so the cloves are like this. I'm just going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon because it's pretty strong, cloves are. But I like
powerful.
Yeah, but I like grinding them myself. There's something about the smell of it.
Here's my rule of thumb. I think if you can grind it, I mean, cinnamon's a thing by itself. I buy ground cinnamon, but
yeah, you can't really. I've tried.
I know, I've tried too. But if you can grind cloves. You can grate the nutmeg.
Yep.
All of these things. Do it fresh. It makes a big difference. Ginger fresh.
A huge difference. Yeah. Oh, and now the smell of cloves. It's just so divine. And I'm going to do ginger. I'm going to do a teaspoon of ginger. So I'm going to do it fresh on my ginger grater. You guys can see that now. Yeah, that makes a huge difference too. And again, you don't have to peel the ginger. Just rub it on the little nubs. This is the best kitchen tool ever.
We said that. I feel like we've said that 1,000 times, but it really is. It really is.
It's so good. And it goes so fast. It's perfect. So there's a teaspoon of fresh ground ginger.
Perfect.
If you don't have it, you can use the powdered stuff. But boy, it makes such a difference to have fresh spices.
I don't know about you, Debrianna, but we're watching all these time loop TV series right now, and I feel like we're in a Corona Kitchen time loop. I've been here with you before during the holidays.
Yep.
You're grating ginger on your little plate.
I know, how many times?
How many times has this happened?
Now I'm grating. I'm zesting an orange. And probably I'll do the whole thing. It's not that big of an orange, really. You could use lemon. I think if you were going to do it, I'd probably use a Meyer lemon. I just like the orange flavor. It's not as harsh as a lemon would be.
Yeah. And you want to taste the persimmon quality,
Yeah.
Note of persimmon.
Yeah. And then I have, where did it go? I used the magic monster that I get cut with that Kelly gave me.
Magic monster.
Yeah, look, you just pull this thing and it grinds stuff.
Whenever you do that, I get scared.
It's super sharp, I'm telling you. That's the thing. This thing is so sharp. It's like
you don't want blood in your muffin. You don't want blood muffins.
So I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of ground up walnuts. And I'm carefully putting this away from me. And then I'm just going to mix up the dry ingredients with a whisk. And that I usually do the dry ingredients in a pretty large bowl. And then I'm going to mix the wet ingredients in here in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to show you how to process the persimmon.
Poor Kelly says, do you get extra credit if you have COVID while watching Corona Kitchen?
I'm sorry you have COVID.
So sorry. Are you on the end of it? Or are you in the middle? What happened?
Where is she? You're probably in the middle, right, Cal?
I hope you feel better.
I know. It sucks. So
and yes, you do get extra credit. You do.
You do. Okay, here's the persimmon. I'm going to cut it. So I'm taking my paring knife and I'm going in the center and I'm just going to cut out the part where it was stuck to the tree, the stem.
Right.
And pull that out like this.
Okay.
Wait, it looks like a tomato,
doesn't it? Thanks, David, for the close-up. I didn't know you were there. Hi.
I'm starting a fire in the fireplace, so I'm running back and forth.
Oh.
Okay. And now I'm going to peel it kind of like an apple. Just run the knife around it and pull the peel off.
Okay.
And this one's not super soft, and it's not super firm. I think it's actually really good right now. This is perfect one. And I already did this to 2 of them, and they're in the blender. And I'm gonna squish them up till they're like a puree. Now, I'm gonna guess this recipe you could probably do with pumpkin puree if you had that. If you didn't want to do persimmon, but man, do the persimmon. It's so delicious.
Debrianna, the fuyus are the ones that don't have the seeds, and the other ones are the ones that have the seeds, and you have to take it.
Well, that's why this is the better one to use now.
Yeah. Well, the one you're using is so good for baking. I mean,
it really is.
It's perfect.
So I'm going to puree this in the blender. I read in some recipe, the woman who was giving the recipe didn't even peel these. She grated them. And I thought, I don't know if I want to use the peel on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
So I decided to do it this way.
I mean, if you did do that, it would have more like chunks in there. You're doing a puree. I don't know. Yeah. I've never had it that way. Maybe.
Me either. I know, like some mangoes, you can eat the skin, but I don't know about it on the persimmon. I didn't look that up.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to peel it. I mean,
but look at that. It's like juice. It came out so fast. So it's beautiful. All right, so I'm going to do the wet ingredients in this other bowl.
Okay.
And I'm doing 3 eggs. They're room temperature. It's always better to bake, I think, with eggs that are room temperature. Stuff that's room temperature.
I agree.
So these are 3 room temperature large eggs. Oh, I didn't tell you this. I'm so excited. I'm going to put this in the compost. That's what reminded me. We're getting for Christmas a Lomi machine. Have you heard of that yet?
No, is that like a composter? What is
Yes, it sits on your counter, and you can put everything in it, like stuff that you can't put in your compost, like dairy and meat products, and even certain recyclable like plastic bags and stuff. And within a very short amount of time, it turns it into dirt.
Wow.
I'm super excited.
That's cool. What does it look like? Is it like a machine?
Yeah, it's a machine, and it doesn't seem like it's very big, but I'll show it to you when we get it. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, very, very exciting. And you just anybody that's a gardener, they should look it up. LOMI.
Okay, I was gonna ask you.
I posted it on Facebook, so you can click on the link there, or if you see it, I did it on Facebook and Twitter.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so I have my own homemade vanilla, so don't get weirded out by this. It's
What is that?
What the hell is she putting in there? So there's a half a teaspoon of vanilla.
I thought it was soy sauce.
Whoa. I'm going to put in yogurt, and I'm going to do a half a cup of yogurt. Now, I'm going to use my honey yogurt. You don't have to, but that's what I have.
Yum. Greek yogurt? Greek?
Yeah, honey Greek yogurt. That's going in there. Half a cup of that. And what else? Oh, I melted earlier 10 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
And it's already kind of cooled down because you're not going to want to put, obviously, hot butter in with your eggs. You know, don't scramble them.
You're going to have a problem if you do.
That won't be delicious. Okay, do I have any more wet other than this? I don't think so. I think I did everything. Okay, so I'm going to put the butter in there too. I think a lot of the recipes that I was looking at or kind of combing through today, you could use oil. Some people used walnut oil. Some people used you don't want to use a flavorful oil, canola or sunflower, something like that.
And if you didn't want to do dairy, you could do applesauce. I've done that before.
Yep, you could do that.
To make them, because that's going to make it the moist factor
of
buttermilk and yogurt and stuff and sour cream that makes the muffin so good.
Yeah, yum yum, yum yum, baby. All right, now I'm going to add now the squished up persimmons in here. They're so pretty.
It's a gorgeous color.
Yeah, there really is. That orange is just stunning.
When I am around persimmons, I'm like that guy in Ratatouille, the movie. I am immediately transported to my grandmother's house, and she's making persimmon cookies that she made all the time.
Yum.
I ate thousands of them.
So now we have all the wet together and the dry. And now I'm going to combine them. And I'm not going to mix them too much. Oh, so this is what I did for the creamy center. Before I do that, I'll show you this. This is mascarpone, and I mixed it with some honey. But I know, I went a little crazy, and I did a Lisa trick, and I used this.
Ooh, yeah.
It's spicy. So
I like to put chili in everything. But
I do too. And so went into my cupboard to get the honey, and I thought, oh.
that honey's good too.
Yeah,
okay.
So this is an 8-ounce container, and I have 2-ish tablespoons of honey, but you can judge that yourself depending on how sweet you want it to be.
Okay.
And then I made the streusel earlier.
What?
And
Oh
So
my God.
This is soft butter, softened butter, about I think a quarter of a cup. And I mixed it with brown sugar, oatmeal, and some white flour and cinnamon. And this is the
Oh my God.
consistency you want it to be, so when you hold it together, it sticks.
Okay, so somebody's saying, does Lisa get delivered muffins tomorrow? And the answer to that is yes.
Okay, so that is a true story. She will.
Yum.
All right, so we're just gonna like mix these together. It doesn't even matter if it's lumpy. Don't over mix this into the.
Don't take your anger out on the batter. Okay.
No, we're gonna win tonight, people. We're winning in Georgia.
You might have a nice day tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. We had some Trump convictions today, and
hey, it's been a good day.
it's been a very good day.
It's been a good day. Morocco won their game against Spain. It was very exciting in the World Cup.
Awesome.
Oh my God. I was crying. It was more emotional than the Croatia game.
Oh,
It was really
oh
beautiful.
my goodness, this smells so good. The spices and the sweetness of the persimmon, it's just wonderful. So I've just got, you just wanted to make sure everything comes together. It doesn't really matter if it's lumpy, but it looks like everything's kind of wet, so you can see it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wish I could eat some dough right now. I love it.
So now I have my pan all prepared with, the muffin pan with papers in it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is how I'm going to do it. So we're going to find out how many this actually makes.
Okay.
I'm going to fill this up about halfway in the muffin tin. So I've got, like what is this? A quarter cup measure.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to make more than 12. And then I'm going to go back and put in about, a hefty teaspoonful or so of the mascarpone mixture, and then cover it back up.
Oh my God. This is going to be so good.
I know. Sarah, your grandma would be proud of me.
So how does the mascarpone stay in there while you're baking it and stay good? Like, how does that work?
What do you mean?
Without oozing out, right?
No.
Yeah.
You're not going to add more. You're not going to add a ton. Okay, here we go.
Okay, here goes.
So here's.
You're like, don't ask the questions.
Yeah.
So
we're just going to put it in the middle.
People have a lot of stuff they're saying here. Okay, please give a full report next week. Oh, I will. I will give a full report when Debrianna posts a photo. And then, where is Lily? I bet she wants.
Oh, she's nearby.
She's never far from the food. Trust me.
Lily! Oh my gosh, she is so.
Lily has a new dress.
Look at her.
Did you show her collar, Papa?
No.
She has a little bow.
I can't see it.
She has a red Christmas bow.
She has a little red Christmas bow because she's such a good girl.
That's
okay,
cute.
so that's got the mascarpone, and now I'm
put
putting
the mascarpone in. Okay, then you cover it again with the batter.
The rest of the batter.
So it's trapped in there.
So now it's trapped in the middle.
Okay, got it. It's trapped.
Yeah, everything's trapped.
You're not making it like this perfect sealed thing so that when you put on the crumble streusel, it kind of can go in the nooks and crannies, right?
Yes, you got it.
Oh my God.
You got it, Muffin Mama.
I am salivating.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to make way more than 12.
Yum.
Good. I'm going to need help eating these, so you're getting a bunch of them.
I need
Seamus
them.
can use them to celebrate the end of his finals.
Yes, yes, and also Friday morning is Croatia, Brazil, and I don't want to have a complete anxiety mental breakdown like I did with the last game. So the muffins will help.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm just putting like, I don't know, a tablespoon, I'm guessing, of the streusel on the top.
Kelly wants 6, by the way.
Yeah, sure, Kel. If I could get them to you, I would. She's the one who has a neighbor with a persimmon tree.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
When you're done with the COVID, Kelly, you can make these.
Okay, so that's how they look.
Wow.
I wasn't exactly neat, but that's okay. Okay, so the oven's at 350. I'm going to put them in there. They're probably going to be in there about 20-ish minutes.
Okay. So you think you might get 24?
It looks like I'm going to get at 18 to 20 for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a nice number. I was going to do the giant ones, and I thought, nah, I'm going to do the baby ones because they're going to be, really potent and, flavorful. I don't know if you want. I mean, David would eat a big one. Let's just face it. Probably shamelessly.
It's a rich flavor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, super exciting. So that's my creation for tonight for y'all.
Bravo.
Thank you.
It's amazing. You just leveled up the muffin major, right?
Yeah, and they're so good. So they have walnuts and oatmeal and the yummy persimmons and, mascarpone is so good for you.
Streusel.
It couldn't be better. It's action-packed muffin.
It's like all the best things in the world.
So, hey, I'm not going to post anything on the bottom because we're having the last election of the year. And we will find out what we need to do after tonight.
Yes, and it'll begin again. But I'm excited for Georgia. Been praying for them. It seems like Georgians are really turning out to vote. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Georgia, and thank you for everyone who helped us get over the finish line. Almost. We're almost there. We're almost there. So, yeah. And thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for being a part of Corona Kitchen, and we'll be back next week with some other holiday extravaganza.
Yeah, you can freeze these. If you made them now, you can freeze them for, holiday. I'm a good, freeze things. Put it away.
Company. What are you going to feed the company for breakfast? For the holidays.
Yeah, easy. This is a perfect Christmas breakfast.
Perfect.
Little hot chocolate.
Yum. Yummy.
Okay, have a great week, you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.